I'm back in the studio. It is a Friday, and every Friday I'm going to give you an update on my recovery. So this is day 32 since I ruptured my Achilles. Wow, it doesn't feel like 32 days. It feels like 92 days or even more. It seems like ages. And 32 days, Rob just reminded me it's 32 days. And about 3 weeks since my surgery, I graduated to a boot last week. And it's a whole something to get used to, this boot. It's very heavy. And I thought the moment I get this boot, I'll be able to start weight bearing. Oh no, it's 1 month in the boot, non-weight bearing, and the boot has to stay on all the time. And then almost more restrictive than that cast. And then 2 weeks of slowly starting to weight bear, and during that time I will start physical therapy. I'm still managing to do about an hour to an hour and a half of workout every day to keep the rest of my body working, and I am taking the boot off twice a day to do some range of motion exercises. I want to thank several of the PTs that have been so supportive during this process. Lynn Kander, Roger Taylor, and a very dear friend of mine, Itamar Stern, who is Jody's husband. And Itamar came up with a program for me to do some range of motion exercises just to start working the range of motion, non-weight bearing, of course no resistance, no actual stretching, just range of motion. So we're starting the journey, but a lot of exercises to keep the rest of my body well conditioned as much as I can. I'm trying. I want to say that this particular period is probably the deepest exploration in so many ways, because it's trying to find the balance. None of us have the answers, all the answers. No one does. And it's trying to find the balance for each individual. My propensity is to push too hard. And that has caused me harm in the past. It set me back with my shoulders and possibly even already with my Achilles. But I don't want to lag behind the timeline. So it's this fine line that we're walking all the time. There's also this fine line of just feeling that you're doing something psychologically, but again, realizing that at times doing nothing is doing something. So it's been a tough week, in all honesty. This is the week that I've had to dig deepest into my soul, to find the strength, to find the positive attitude, to just keep on working towards a goal, toward being fully functional again. I just hope that I can be a resource for so many of you, if you have to go through something similar, if your clients do, or just for general information. It's feeding a lot into my workshop, The Power of Aging. I'm also wrapping up the third edit to my book, Pilates, and this inevitably affects my editing and feeds into everything I'm doing. But once again, as I said last time, and I'll say it again, I realize the importance of what we do. Yes, it's important what we do to give us a great lifestyle, to be able to go out and do all the other physical activities that we love. But most importantly, it equips us to go into different chapters in our life. For me, it's at 66, it's going into that aging process, finding the power in aging, equipping myself to lift myself off the floor, to pull myself into positions, to get into my Jeep. It's such a struggle to get into my Jeep. I have to use all my power of my upper body. If I didn't have all the work, all those hanging front pull-ups, hanging back, I wouldn't have the strength to pull myself up and lift myself into the Jeep. So relating those exercises just to everyday things that I'm doing now is critical. It's given the work for me completely new meaning. So I'll see you next week, next Friday. I'm going to keep these going every week to chronicle my recovery. And the week that I'm most excited about is I'm going to bring Rob to the beach. When I get back on my paddleboard and I jump on that board and I paddle out and catch some waves, that's what I'm dreaming about. So until then, be safe. I love you all. See you next week.